ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वरहापीडं नटवरवपु कर्णयो कर्णिकारं बिभ्रद्वासा कनककपिशं वैजयन्तीं च मां रन्ध्रान्वेन रधरसुधया पूरयन् गोपवृन्दै वृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणं प्राविशद्गीतकीर्ति नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पानौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्। नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षु यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ब्रह्मदेवमात्मा बुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। लाडली लाल की जय। महानुभाव भक्त वत्सल भक्त समुदाय, divine souls, devotees of the Supreme Lord. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to each and every one of you here. As usual, we'll begin with bhajan, kirtan. So in the books, please turn to page 190. 190. कृपा करु कृपा करु कृपा करु राधे, कहाँ घटी जाए तोरा कृपा करु राधे। कृपा करु कृपा करु कृपा करु
कृपा करुणा
कृपा राधे। तेरा
तो है तन मन प्राण कृपा राधे।
तू तो एक कृपा कोई दूजा रूप राधे।
तू तो एक कृपा कोई दूजा रूप राधे।
कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ घटी जाए कृपा कर राधे।
कृपा कर कृपा कर कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ कटी जाए तोरा कृपा कर राधे।
तेरा तो है एक काम कृपा कृपा राधे।
तेरा तो एक काम कृपा कृपा राधे।
कृपा बिनु तू तो रहती नहीं सक राधे।
कृपा बिनु तू तो रहे नहीं सक राधे।
कृपा कर कृपा कर कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ घटी जाए तोरा कृपा कर राधे।
कृपा कर कृपा कर कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ घटी जाए तोरा कृपा कर राधे।
जग जाने जल मीन जीवन राधे।
जग जान जल में जीवन राधे।
ऐसे ही कृपा तेरा जीवन राधे।
ऐसे ही कृपा तेरा जीवन राधे।
कृपा कर कृपा कर कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ कृपा तेहि विधि रखे जग राखे।
तेरी कृपा तेरी विधि रखे जग राखे।
तेरी कृपा तेहि हरि पाले जग राधे।
तेरी कृपा तेरी हरि पाले जग राधे।
तेरी कृपा तेहि शिव नासे जग राधे।
तेरी कृपा तेरी सेवा नासे जग राधे।
तेरी कृपा बिनु पत्ता हिले नहीं राधे।
तेरी कृपा बिनु पत्ता हिले नहीं राधे।
ओ कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ घटी जाए पूरा कृपा कर राधे।
कृपा कर कृपा कर कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ कट जाए तोरा कृपा कर राधे।
तेरी कृपा बिनु ब्रह्म न्यायी रहे राधे।
तेरी कृपा बिनु ब्रह्म न्यायी रही राधे।
तेरी कृपा ते कृपालु बने ब्रह्म राधे।
तेरी कृपा ते कृपालु बने ब्रह्म राधे।
कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ घटी जाए पूरा कृपा कर राधे।
कृपा कर कृपा कर कृपा कर राधे। कहाँ घट जाए तोरा कृपा कर राधे।
बोले राधा रानी की जय।
जय।
फिरत सदा माया कर फेरा। काल कर्म स्वभाव गुण घेरा। जय राम श्री
श्री राम
बोले सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. Continuing the lecture of Bhagwan Shri Ram. एक बार रघुनाथ बुलाए, गुरु द्विज पुरवासी सब आए. In 11,000 years, once only, the Supreme Lord Bhagwan Shri Ram called everyone in Ayodhya in the age of Treta Yuga and gave a lecture. So we have been discussing that lecture and continuing that discussion. So here in this chaupai, Bhagwan Shri Ram says to the residents of Ayodhya, Firat sada maya kar prera, kal karm swabhav gun ghera. Being influenced by Maya, the individual soul is always wandering due to time, with innate nature, time, fate, etc. Maya has a big influence. Jeev par habi hai. It controls the individual soul. हमें भुला दिया. It has made us forgotten who we are. We have forgotten that we are the soul, Atma. From beginningless time, we have identified with the physical body. And that's why we have, number one, been looking for happiness where it cannot be found in the material world, material persons and objects. And number two, suffering, dukhi hai. Maya ke teen gun hai. Maya has three qualities. Ajam ekam lohit shukla krishnam bahavihi prajaha srijamanam swarupaha ajo heko jushmanunushete jahatenam bhukt bhogam ajonyah. Shvetashvataro chapter 4, verse 5. The Veda says Maya is Tirang. Tirangi Maya. Maya has three colors. White, Safed wali Maya, white Maya, Lal Rangi Maya, red Maya, Kala Rangi Maya, black Maya. In other words, Maya has three qualities. Gunas. White represents Sattva Gun, red represents Rajogun, black represents Tamogun. These are three qualities of Maya. These three qualities governs the individual soul. It has its control on the mind. This depends on these three qualities of Maya, our characteristic, how we are, what we think, our personality, etc. These three qualities, they keep mixing and intermingling. Sabhi mein hai, in everyone, these three qualities are there. In different percentages, but the mixture of all these three. My Guru, Sri Maharaji, compares the three qualities of Maya to three wrestlers in a ring. You see wrestling, three wrestlers in a ring. Just so, in like three wrestlers in a ring, one tumbles the second down, the third tumbles the first down, the second tumbles the third, etc. One is always predominating. And the one which predominates determines our nature, our character, how we feel. If the sattvic quality is predominating, rajogun, tamogun is there. The sattvic quality is predominating, we are serene and calm, and high and noble thoughts fill our mind. If the rajas quality is predominating, rajasic, rajogun, sattvagun, tamogun is there. Rajogun is predominating. We are ambitious, hopeful, passionate. And if the tamogun, tamasic quality is predominating, sattvagun is there, rajogun is there also. But tamogun is predominating, we are lazy, lack incentive, and our will grows weak. Evil thoughts come in our mind. Now, which quality is predominating and for how long? This is determined by our sanskars, mental tendencies from the past life. When we perform actions in any lifetime, that gets stored in the mind. I will talk a little bit later on more about this. And that determines in the next life, this gets stored, and this is the tendencies in the mind. It's called sanskar. Sometimes the sanskars are good, the sattvic quality is predominating. We want to do kirtan, we want to do dhyan, meditation, sadhana. We want to think about Bhagwan, we only want to hear about God. This one is not so much all the time. We say our sanskars are very good. When the rajasic quality is predominating, our sanskars are medium. We think, okay, I should do. There's not really a great desire to do. We really give more importance to our job, earning money, taking care of our family, etc. This is predominant in our mind. But we think the scriptures and the saints have told us how valuable this human birth is. So we should give some time to God, we should pray, etc. There's not a great desire to do it, but we think we should. And when the tamasic quality is predominating, our sanskars are very bad. Sometimes this is predominant. That time, we don't want to hear anything spiritual. Someone says, let's go to Yugal Kunj. Wasting time. Why you want to go there? Oh, we can go to the beach. We can go to the cinema. We can go to the mall. We can visit some friends and family. Stay home and look at TV, sleep. We make all kinds of excuse not to do anything spiritual. There's no attraction, no desire. As a matter of fact, we may even start thinking against God, have negative thoughts against God and the saints, etc. So, this is an idea. And this is all by the actions we perform. And it's because of Maya. Maya's influence. It determines all of this. But Bhagwan Sri Ram goes on to say, Doha.
सो परत्र दुख पावही सिर धुनि धुनि पछताए ओ रामा सिर धुनि धुनि पछताए काल ही कर्म ही ईश्वर ही मिथ्या दोष लगाए ओ रामा मिथ्या दोष
We're not going to find happiness in the here and the hereafter too. We'll suffer here and hereafter. So parat dukh pavahi, sir dhuni dhuni pachitai. We're going to beat our head and repent. पछताएंगे. क्यों? Why? काल ही कर्म ही ईश्वर ही मिथ्या दोष लगाए. When we give false blame, we blame these things falsely. 3 things. We blame Kal, time. We blame Karma, Bhagya, destiny. And we blame Ishwar, we blame Bhagavan, God too. We blame God. When we do something wrong in the world or something happens wrong, what do we say? It is by the will of God. It's God's will. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Bolo Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Uma Daru, Uma Daru, Yoshit ki nai. सब ही नचावत राम गुसाई. बोलो
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
बोलो राम.
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
उमा दारु योषित की नाई, सब ही नचावत राम गुसाई. We quote the scripture. In other words, we say everything happens according to God's will. वही होता है जो मंजूर खुदा होता है. ज्ञानी मूढ़ न कोई. We say neither is anyone wise nor is anyone foolish. If someone has knowledge, is wise, Bhagwan gave him knowledge. He didn't give me, and so I don't know. We say God can turn anyone into anything He wants, even in a moment. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Bolo Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
होई सोई जो राम रचि राखा, काकरी तरक बढ़ावती शाखा. बोलो
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
होई सोई जो राम रचि राखा, काकरी तरक बढ़ावत शाखा. God can turn anyone into anything He wants in a moment. People even quote Vedic mantras to prove their point. Tameva bhatam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvam vibhati ved. In other words, not even a blade of grass can shake without the will of God, Bhagwan. People go to the extent of saying, Asambhavam hemamrigasya janma, tathapi ramo lulubhe mrigaya, praya samapanna vipatti kale, dhiyopi punsam malina bhavanti, na bhuta purvam na kadapi varta, hemnah ankurango na kadapi drishta tathapi trishna raghunandanasya baliyasi kevalam ishwarecha. Has anyone ever seen a golden deer? Hem mrig, golden deer. Never. Asambhav, impossible. And the one who is seen is so qualified that from before he says, Lakshman, there are many demons here, Rakshas, roaming with great Mayavi Shakti, delusive powers. So be on the alert and protect Sita. But that same Sri Ram could not know that a golden deer was delusion. And besides, he could have shot it with an arrow from right there and finished the story. Katham. Are, when the son of Indra, Jayant, Irshakya, who was jealous of Bhagwan, came and pecked the lotus feet of Mother Sita, and it started bleeding, Bhagwan got so angry. He took a grass, tinka, a little blade of grass, and made it into an arrow of fire, Agniban, and sent it after Jayant. And Jayant went through all the three walls, and this arrow kept following, scorching, burning him. So much power. He took a grass, so he could have taken an arrow and shot the deer and killed it. Why did he have to run after it? Kyu piche bhaga? But he couldn't know. Tathapi trishna raghunandanasya baliyasi kevalam ishwarecha. Dekho, look, there are many, many philosophies in the world. But the most dangerous that we people have made our own is this philosophy that everything happens according to God's will. It is His will. So is God the doer, the performer of our actions? Yes. He's our inspirer. Duryodhan, when questioned, is saying the same thing to Bhagavan Krishna. Duryodhan says, Janami dharmam nacha me pravittir, janamya dharmam nacha me nivritti, kinapi devena hridasthitena yathani yuktosmi tatha karomi. Mahabharata. Duryodhan says, look, I know what is right, dharma, and I know what is wrong, adharma. I know everything. But I do not know what to say. Someone is causing me to do all the wrong things I do. In other words, Bhagavan. So is God the performer of our actions? The doer? Let us look at this logically, tark se, logically, and remove all the confusion once and for all. एक बार हटा दो. First point. If God is the performer of our actions, then we should never do anything wrong. कभी गलत काम नहीं करना चाहिए. Since God is all-knowing, all-intelligent, then all our actions should also be all-intelligent. Not even one should be wrong. If the driver of a motor car is a very good driver, he has his senses, mind, and intellect under control, the car runs very smoothly. But if a driver becomes drunk from alcohol, then there's every chance of an accident. So in the same way, if Bhagavan, if God is the controller, director, driver of our actions, then how come every action we perform is in ignorance? First point. Second point. If God is the performer of our action, then He should have all of us doing the same actions. Either we should all be doing good actions, or we should all be doing bad actions. Bhagavan Krishna himself says to Arjun in Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyah. Chapter 9, verse 29. Bhagavan Krishna says, Arjun, listen, neither is anyone dear to me, nor is anyone hateful. I look at everyone equally, Samadarshi. I am a supreme God judge. Samadarshi. And yet, in one way, the actions of certain souls, Surdas, Tulsidas, Meera, Tukaram, Nanak, has took them beyond Maya. Whereas our actions, every moment wrong, dirty, bad. So how did this partiality come into a God who's supposed to be impartial, nishpaksh? If God is the performer of our action, and as He says in Gita, He's Samadarshi, He looks at everyone equally, He doesn't take sides, He is impartial, then we should all be doing the same actions. Either all doing right, all doing wrong. How did this partiality come into a God who's supposed to be impartial? If God is like this, I don't want Him to be my Ishtadev, my chosen deity. For all you know, He may be a Rakshas, a demon, but certainly not Bhagavan. Third point. If God is the performer of our actions, then He should be the one to enjoy the fruits. Or He should forgive Himself. If on the order of a government of a country, the army attacks the enemy and destroys them, then the officers, lieutenant, general, colonel, major of the army, they are given puruskar. They are given prize, medals, etc. by the government. They are not sentenced to death or punished by the government. In the same way, if God is the performer of our actions, then He should be the enjoyer of the fruit, good or bad. Why do we have to be the enjoyer? This is a great injustice. Ramesh has eaten and Ganesh is vomited. It is not good. The fourth point. If God is the performer of our actions, then why did He write Vidhi, Nishedh in the Vedas? These two words. The whole Vedas are filled with Vidhi, Nishedh. Vidhi means permitted actions, that which we should do. Nishedh, prohibited actions, that which we should not do. God is the performer of our actions. Why did He say, hey, human beings, do only these kinds of actions, Vidhi. Do not do these kinds of actions, Nishedh. If you perform this kind of action, you get this kind of fruit. You perform that kind of action, you get that kind of fruit. This is right and that is wrong. If you do wrong actions, you will be thrown in hell. You will never go to Bhagavan. Why make all these charges? If He is the performer of our actions, if God is the performer of our actions, He should have never written Vidhi Nishedh in the Vedas. Instead, He should have said, hey mankind, there is no need for you to do anything. I will do everything for you. And fifthly, the fifth point, if God is the performer of our action, then why did He create heaven, hell and earth? Swarg, Narak, Prithvi. Why did he give to some the bodies of a cat, some the body of a dog, some the body of a worm, some the body of a tree, some the body of a grass, some the body of a heavenly God, some the body of a human being, etc., etc. Just as the government of every country makes arrangements to punish criminals, अपराधी को दंड देने का विधान. In the same way, Bhagavan makes elaborate arrangements to punish sinners, पापियों को दंड देना. Why make all these arrangements if God is the performer of our actions? Now listen, the fact is, God is not. He is not the performer of our actions. Bhagavan makes it very clear in the Gita. He says, Na datte kasachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu. Gita chapter 5 verse 15. Bhagavan says, I am not responsible. I am not responsible for the virtuous or evil actions of the individual soul. I just sit in their heart and I take note. So let us forgive Bhagavan. Bach gaya bechara. Poor fellow, he's been saved. Now we people should not listen, think or say that God is the performer of our action, that everything happens according to the will of God. We should accept the faults as ours. But this is a very difficult thing to do. Nobody likes to accept responsibilities for one's faults and wrongdoings. We will hide our mistakes even if it means committing 100 new ones to do so. So while we are willing to accept that God is blameless, innocent, we cannot accept the fault as our own, and so we find somewhere else to put the blame. Where do we put the blame now? On something called bhagya, destiny, fate, luck. We say, okay, I accept Bhagavan, God is blameless, but I do not know what to say. My entire day, my daily life is bounded by fate, by destiny. Whatever has to be, has to be. Harinapi, Harinapi, Brahmanapi, Surairapi, Lalat likhitare ka, Parimarshtum na shakyate, Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, all are controlled by destiny. We quote the Ramayana also to Doha.
कह मुनीस हिमवंत सुनो, जो विधि लिखा लीलार, हो रामा जो विधि लिखा लीलार। देवदनुज नर नाग मुनि, को न मेट निहार, हो रामा को न मेट निहार। सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरण, शंकर हरि ओम जय जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम,
जय जय सिया राम।
कह मुनीस हिमवंत सुनो, जो विधि लिखा लीलार, देव दनुज नरनाग मुनि, को न मेट निहार। Narji said to Himalaya, whatever Brahma, the Creator, has written in the destiny of an individual on the forehead, no Rakshas, no human being, no Rishi, no Muni, no Devata, no heavenly God, no one can change. Avashyameva bhoktavyam kritam karma shubhashubham. Mahabharata. You will have to bear the fruits of your good actions as well as bad actions. These statements are correct. Nothing is wrong with them. But we are utilizing them, quoting them to hide our faults, making a reason as to why we are not responsible. Furthermore, na bhuktam kshiyate karma kalpakoti shatairapi. Garu Puran. Even God-realized souls, saints, have to suffer the consequences of their actions. They have to work out their prarabdha. Really look at history. So many saints have died from so many diseases. So many saints suffering from cancer of the throat, etc. Look at the example of Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu was saint. The nephew of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the son of his sister Subhadra, the son of Arjun. And yet, Abhimanyu died in the prime of his youth, leaving behind his 16-year-old wife Uttara, who had to become a widow at the tender age of 16. Not only that, the one who set the auspicious moment for the marriage of Abhimanyu and Uttara was Vedavyas, descension of Bhagavan, Avesha avatar. All three present, Bhagavan Krishna, Arjun, Noah of Gita, topmost among saints. Vedavyas, descension of Bhagavan. And no one could save Abhimanyu from destiny. The whole world laughed at them. Laughed at them. This Shri Krishna, he is a Bhagavan, a God. Jai Ho. This Arjun is a Mahapurush. Wah, wah, wah. And they could not save Abhimanyu from his destiny, from dying. Didn't they know? We cursed, criticized, and abused them. And when they left the world, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This has been our nature from beginningless time. Listen to another humorous example. Swami Maheshwaranand, Swasuro Nageshaha, Sakha Dhaneshastanayo Ganeshaha. Shiv Bhagavan himself, one of the three governors of the universe. His father-in-law, Swasura, is Nagesh, Himalaya, on which there is Sumeru Parvat, mountain of gold. Such a rich father-in-law. His friend is Kuber, the god of wealth. And his son is Ganesh. Whose puja is done first. Jahi sumirat siddhi ho, Gananayak karivar vadana. Jahi sumirat siddhi ho, Gananayak karivar vadana. Karau anugraso, Buddhi Rashi Shubhaguna Sadana. Whose puja is done first, Ganeshi. And yet, Tathapi Bhiksha Tanameva Shambhor Baliyasi Kevalam Ishwarecha. Poor Shivji, he has to beg for his food. Bhiksham de, kuch de do khane ke liye. is to beg. Avashyam bhavino bhava bhavanti mahatamapi naganatvam neelakanthasya mayahi shayanam hareha. Poor Shivji. He cannot get a proper piece of cloth to wear. He has to go about naked, Digambar. Another poor fellow, the Supreme Lord Mahavishnu. He cannot get a proper bed to sleep on. He sleeps on a bed of snake. Doha.
सुनहु भरत भावी प्रबल बिलखि कहु मुनिनाथ ओ रामा बिलखि कहु मुनिनाथ हानि लाभ जीवन मरण जश अपजश विधि हार ओ रामा जश अपजश विधि हार सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरण शंकर हरि ओम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम
जय जय सिया राम।
सुनहु भरत भावी प्रबल बिलखि कहु मुनिनाथ हानि लाभ जीवन मरण जश अपजश विधिहात। Vashishth Muni, the sage Vashisht Ji saying, "O Bharat, listen. Destiny is very powerful. Hani, labh, gain, loss, Jivan, Maran, life, death, Yasha, Apajash, fame, dishonor are all in the hands of destiny. Furthermore, Paulastya katamanyadara harane dosho na vigyatvan akshay chap yudhishtirena namata gyato na dosho nukim rame nabive vanena hem harinas syasambhavo lakshita pratyasanna vipatti murha manasam prayo matishiyate." Ravan, you all know Ravan in the Ramayana, that great Rakshas who kidnapped Mother Sita. Ravan was very knowledgeable, bade gyani the. He was so knowledgeable, he wrote commentaries on the 4 Vedas, as well as other scriptures. But all his learning and knowledge proved to be in vain, as he was destined to kidnap Sita and thereby pave the way for his death at the hand of Bhagavan Shri Ram. The 5 Pandavas, Yudhishthir, Bhimsen, Arjun, Nakul and Sahadev, they were all Mahapurush, saints. Their wife Draupadi was also a saint. All 6 saint Mahapurush. But the destiny of the Pandavas was such that not only did they lose everything they had, but also their wife Draupadi in a game of dice with their cousins, the Kauravas. There are many such humorous examples used by us who think we are controlled by destiny, by bhagya, destiny, fate. I call these examples, nothing is wrong, they're from the scriptures, but utilization of them to prove our point. I call these examples humorous because the actions of divine souls are the actions of the Supreme Lord Himself. Jo kare, so Hari kare. So there can be nothing like destiny or anything else in control in their actions. So whilst these fatalists, those of us who consider ourselves to be controlled by fate, by destiny, do not blame God. We cannot accept the fault as our own, and so we put the blame on fate, on destiny itself. But it seems that these fatalists, we fatalists,
do not understand what is the meaning of the word bhagya, destiny. What is this bhagya? The scriptures tell us, Purva janma kritam karma tad daivamiti kathyate hitopadesh. The actions performed in our past life out of our own free will, purusharth, becomes bhagya, destiny, in this lifetime. There has been a lot of controversy between purusharth, actions performed out of a free will, and bhagya, predestination. When the fact is, the ironic fact is that these are two names for one and the same thing. The actions we perform in this, remember Bhagavan gives us free will. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani. Chapter 2 verse 47 Gita. Bhagavan says, कर्म करने का अधिकार आपको देता. He gives everyone the right to perform action, free will. So the actions I perform in this lifetime, out of the free will that Bhagavan has given to me, Purusharth, that name, Purusharth, changes, the name changes to Bhagya, predestination in the next lifetime. The name changes. That's all. It's not as though my father earned money and put in the bank, and when he dies, I'm going to get it. No. Actions performed out of our own free will in one lifetime, Purusharth, changes to Bhagya, predestination, in the next lifetime. The name changes, that's all. We, in other words, we are the maker of our destiny. It doesn't fall from the sky. It's not written in any book, any patra, any panchang, anything like that. If it's written anywhere, it's written here. Bhal, Lalat. All the scriptures say this. But the fatalist goes on to insist, Ayuh karma cha vittam cha vidyani dhanameva cha panchaitani siddhyanti garbhastasyaiva dehinaha hitopadesh. We have to argue until they prove your point. They say, duration of life, how long we live for. This is written in the scriptures. Karma, what kind of interest we'll have. Vitt, how much wealth will come to us easily. Vidya, how much knowledge will come easily. Nidhanamevacha, the moment we'll die and how we'll die is determined the moment the child is conceived in the womb of the mother, and no one can change that. Yadhatra nijabhala patta likhitam stokam madvadhanam tad prapnoti marusthale pinitaram mera tato nadhikam tad dhiro bhavittavatsu kripanam vrittim krithama kritha Kupe pashopanudha vapighato grinati tulyam jalam. Bhakti Hari. The Saint Bhakti Hari says, the amount of wealth we are supposed to acquire when you give dan, charity. This is where you get wealth from, when you give dan. If you do not give dan, the punishment is daridri, you'll be born very poor in the next life. And how much dan? Dashans. At least 10% of our earning we have to give. When you give more, when you give 10%, you only fulfill your debt. When you give more than 10%, that goes in the spiritual bank and multiplies and comes as wealth in the next lifetime. So the amount of wealth we are supposed to acquire will come to us easily, without any effort, even if we were in the middle of a desert. Merusthal. And we would get no more than we are supposed to Even if we were sitting in a Sumeru Parvat, mountain of gold. And for the example, he says, just like when you take a bucket, a container, and dip it into a well and bring it up, it will only hold the amount of water it is supposed to and no more. In this way, we are all controlled by destiny, by fate. Now, there's a lot of truth in these quotations. I'm not going to argue against it. But, let me say something. If we are controlled, as you say, by destiny in our present life, bhagya, destiny, then it means we have been controlled by destiny in our past life and has been so controlled since beginningless time. It means we never perform action out of a free will. And if we never perform action out of a free will, where did bhagya, destiny, come from? Because only, according to the scriptures, only when we perform actions out of a free will which God has given to us, that becomes bhagya, predestination in the next lifetime. If you say that we had freedom to perform actions in the past lives, then we have that freedom today also. It doesn't just fall from the sky. Look, let me just explain three things very briefly. This word karma, it's a very big word. It means a lot of things. It also means dharma. It also means action. Taking the meaning of action. There are three kinds of actions. Sanchit karma, prarabdha karma, kriyaman karma. I've told you before, the performer of our actions is our mind, not the physical sense organ, the mind alone. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho Brahma Bindu Upanishad, second mantra. So every thought, every time we think, that's an action. And God takes note. And the law is, we have to bear the fruits of every action we perform. Now, this is impossible. In one day, we are thinking thousands of thoughts. So God, out of His causeless mercy, takes all these actions and stores it in the mind. And from beginningless lifetime, this has been stored. This is called Sanchit Karma, and it's a huge storehouse, infinite storehouse of actions, good and bad. Now, in any lifetime, God takes a very tiny amount, very tiny drop from that huge storehouse of actions and gives it to us. That is called prarabdha, and that we have to work out. And the actions we perform at present, and which is going to bear fruit sometime in the future, that is called kriyaman karma. And only human beings have the right to perform kriyaman karma. As I mentioned to you last night, not even the devatas have that right. Let me give a little example. Let's suppose you deposit your entire life saving in the bank. Let's suppose $1 million. You deposit this entire life saving in the bank. Now suddenly one day, an emergency comes up and you have to make a withdrawal of $1,000. Some important work. The withdrawal is a must. But it does not mean that you cannot earn more money and redeposit in the account. You're free to do so. From this example, the $1 million can be compared to our Sanchit Karma. The difference is the $1 million is limited, seemit, whilst our Sanchit Karma is unlimited, aseem, infinite. The withdrawal of $1,000 can be compared to our prarabdha. that we have to work out. And the freedom to earn more money and redeposit in our account can be compared to our Kriyaman Karma. So while Prarabdha is a must and we have to work it out, it does not mean we are not free to perform Kriyaman Karma. In this respect, we are all free. To depend on fate, on destiny, is to pervert the mind. The dependence on destiny will make us worse than animals. Udyoginam purusha singhamupaiti lakshmi daive nadeyamitika purusha vadanti daivam nihatya kurupaurushamaatya shaktya yatne krite yadina siddhyati kota dosha. So let us stop putting the blame on everything that goes wrong on fate, on destiny. Because as Tulsidas says in the Ramayana, Daiv means bhagya, destiny. Tulsidas says the kadar. Kadar means darpok, the coward, the lazy, shuns action and puts the blame on fate, on destiny. Look, we're not going to get anything by crying destiny, destiny, destiny. People say karma. Everything happens karma, karma, karma. If we bounce our toe, karma. Look, we have made the mistakes and we have to make the corrections ourselves. We're not going to do anything but just crying destiny, destiny. But still people have a great desire to know what's in their future, in their destiny. People have great, great faith in astrologers, Jyotish, fortune tellers and psychics. Oh, a few years ago, the psychic thing was a big thing in America. Psychic hotline. People spend millions of dollars. Many psychics were thrown in jail. One died recently, very famous one, Cleo. Didn't she see she was going to die? We have great faith. So you go to the Jyotish, the astrologer, and what he tells you? He tells you the day your son graduates from university, college, and is celebrating with his friends and family, suddenly he will have a heart attack and he will die. Now, if this incident does take place, it's 15 years in the future. Your son is only 4 years old at this time, but already you start worrying. Oh my God, hey Bhagwan, oh my God, my child is going to die in 15 years. My son is going to die in 15 years. And if your son doesn't die, you surely will. Why worry about what's written in our destiny? You can't do anything about it. And besides, we are the one who makes destiny. We create destiny, our actions. Whatever we want to be, that's in our hands. When we have the power to make Bhagavan, God, our slave, Gulam, what can we not do? Nirapeksham munishantam niravaidam samadarshanam anugrajami ham nityam puyetang ghrirenu bhi Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11 Canto, 14 chapter 16 verse, Bhagavan says, I run after my surrendered devotees like a slave. He becomes a slave to his devotee. Then what can we not do? Imagine so much power we have. The Saint Priyadas says, Karmanam sanchitadinam jivo dinastathapi swatantra kriyamane vai krito bhagavata vida. He says, only human beings have the right to perform purusharth, actions that bear fruits. In the 8.4 million species, only human beings have that right, no other form of life. When we have such a wonderful human birth that even the Devatas, celestial gods, are praying and begging for, if we were to continue shouting slogans of destiny and fate, then what can be more self-destructive than that? Someone may say, okay, I'm not going to blame fate, destiny. If my luck is bad, it means I did wrong actions in my past life, and I have to bear the fruit. So now I'm going to do good actions, so my destiny will be good. This is in my hands. But there was one more thing we blame. What is that? Kal. Time. Purusha bali nahi hot hai, samay hot balwan, bhillai luti gopika, soi Arjun soi ban. In other words, time is all powerful, Kal, balwan hai. When the time comes, I will automatically do. Pratar bhavami vasudhadhipa chakravarti, soham brajami vipine jatilas tapasvi. When the time comes, that morning itself I'll become a king, Raja. Now I'll just laze around and do nothing. I'll be a loafer. In other words, this time is such a thing that when it comes, it will automatically do everything by itself. Hey, mister, the time has come. The day has come. The time has come. Do what you're supposed to do right now. Kaal kare so aaj kare so ab. Pal mein parle hoigi, fero karego kab. The Saint Kabir says, when you plan to worship Bhagavan, to do devotion, bhakti tomorrow, do it today, aaj. You plan to do it today, do it now, ab. For in the twinkling of an eye, pal means the blink of an eye. In the twinkling of an eye, death will overtake us. And then when we are going to do? This time is a very big disease we have, is another name for destiny. Or we give blame to all these things. So why is it written in the scriptures that God is our inspirer if He is not the performer of our action? Look, our senses, mind and intellect, this is all jad, enough. The eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, all these things are enough, jad. So God gives us power for the eyes to see, the ears to hear, the mouth to speak, the mind to think, the intellect to understand. God gives us power. So God gives the mind the power to think. But what the mind thinks, that depends on us. For example, a policeman is given a revolver, a gun, to protect himself in case someone tries to kill him, attack him. But if the policeman takes the same gun and kills himself, then his superiors are not held responsible for his death. Another example, water, pani, jal, is used in so many ways by so many different people. Some use to drink it, some use for drinking, some for cooking, some for bathing, some for washing, some for swimming, and some use it to kill themselves by drowning themselves in the water, atmahatya. The water doesn't bear responsibilities for all these actions. In the same way, God gives His power to everyone equally. But what we do using that power of Bhagavan depends on us. So we cannot blame Bhagavan. This is why Bhagavan is saying, So parat dukh pavahi. You're not going to get happiness in the here and the hereafter also. Sir dhuni dhuni pachitaya. Sir dhuni dhuni pachitaya. And we're going to beat our heads and repent afterwards. When we do what? Kalahi karmahi ishwarahi. Mithya dosha lagai. When we give false blames. We don't blame ourselves. Nobody likes to take blame. We give blame to when we don't do what we are supposed to do, we blame time. I don't have time. Why don't you go to Yugal Kunj? Why don't you do sadhana? I don't have time. I'm too busy. We give blame to destiny. If it's written in my destiny, I have to worship God, and I'll worship God. And we blame Bhagavan. If Bhagavan want me to do bhakti, I'll do it. We do not do that. Then it'll be too late. We'll lose this golden opportunity, this wonderful human birth that even the devatas are praying for. And who are we going to blame? We'll continue the katha tomorrow night. Bole Siyavar Ramchandra ki Larli Lal ki Pavan Sut Hanuman ki Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. We will continue with the lecture tomorrow, the same time, 7:20 to 8:30. I would just like to tell you about the Saturday. We also have a Saturday after the Bhog, 12 o'clock. We have a online satsang that is actually set up by our another center, Radha Madhav Dham. But Maheshwaranand Swamiji will be here. He'll be giving a talk, and then there will be questions asked by different people and who join online. So you're welcome to join in that online satsang. That will be, as I said, on Saturday at 12 o'clock, right after Bhog, during that time. So you're all welcome to join in that. And next Saturday we have a home satsang in one of the devotees' house, and that's also around 12 o'clock. You'll be given more information about that. Again, on behalf of the host, you're all invited in that too. Now we're going for take the Aarti and Prasad, and then go for Mahaprasad. Radhe Radhe.
Krishna Krishna